What's up, guys? Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day to hop on this live with me. Truly appreciate it. I got some dual screens rolling. Let's see if I can. I just want to make sure everything's set up here. Let's reduce the volume on this thing. And let me make sure that I can see my comments. So in this live today, we're going to be talking about converting sellers into sales, how to find properties, the preferred method on finding houses to flip. I'm just busting a little comment in the comment section. If you guys can hear me, go ahead and shoot me an emoji sign. That would be super cool. Just drop an emoji in the jam. Comments. Ooh, you know what? It doesn't support comments on private videos. Create public or unlisted videos. We're unlisted. So I'm going to see if these comments show up. Go ahead and do me a favor. If you can hear me, go ahead and just give me a thumbs up. Give me a little thumbs up action, and then I can see it in the comment section. I want to be cognizant of your guys' time today. So I'm only going to take anywhere from an hour to an hour and 10 minutes, just depending on how deep we decide to jam into this. Let me make sure that I can see comments. Cool. And then also, anybody that's watching this, I sent it out to a specific group of you. Any of you that's watching this that want to share this information with somebody that's been wanting to learn how to convert sellers into sales, the preferred method of finding houses to flip, please go ahead and just click that share button, and then you can share it with them. You can just share all of this juicy goodness in abundance. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. You know what? I might even make this a public one. Yeah, I'm going to make it a public one. So boom, there we go. Public. So again, I'm going to jump right into this. Let me go in here. So today we are going to talk about finding properties. It's not as hard as you think. A lot of methods of finding properties have been this kind of mass shotgun approach on how to find properties to flip when it comes to real estate. Now, I've done an abundance of different types of transactions and sourced deals, many different ways. Many different ways. Those of you that don't know me, my name is Tyson Delacruz. I utilize real estate to flip my entire life around, allowing me more time for self-exploration and allowing me to do the things that I want to do. And hopefully this video finds you, and real estate becomes a tool for you to also flip your life around and kind of turn everything around, because really it simply just takes one deal. If you're new to the channel and you like what you see, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. If you want to see more of this type of content, just leave that in the comments below. All right, we're going to hop right into it. Let me refresh. All right, I got the dual screens going on. Let me share this screen. Let's share this screen. Let's do present. Boom. Let's see how this looks. What? Yo, your boy worked several minutes to put this PowerPoint together. So hopefully you guys see some dope value in this. So how to turn sellers into money, working with investors and builders to basically find properties. There's a couple different types of methods out there. One of the methods is this kind of shotgun approach, and just basically spraying and praying that something sticks, getting a list of data, getting a list of information, and just kind of skip tracing it, and then mass text messaging it, mass calling it, and mass mailing it. And you know what? That works to an extent. But if you have a low budget, this isn't necessarily the preferred method for me. I personally have done both. I've had a huge team, and we've done mass emails, mass phone calls, mass mailers, all of that good juicy stuff. And you know what? It didn't necessarily fit, and it wasn't necessarily in alignment with me. So I like the preferred method, where it's very niche down and you find these really juicy properties. Okay. So how hard are these properties to find? Look at that. We got the picture of a unicorn. A lot of people talk about finding these properties are like finding a unicorn or Sasquatch. Kind of looks like me when I don't shave, but yeah, it's not as hard as you think. Finding these properties are not that hard to find. Contrary to popular belief, they aren't some magical, mystical unicorn. Let me remove this so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So, let's dive right in here. Actually, really quick, before I move into that next slide, mindset on this is everything. If you think that there aren't amazing properties out there, or properties that you can find that are really excellent, amazing deals or unique, you're wrong. That's a mindset shift, and it's just incorporating patience too. If you're looking to get in this for quick cash, yes, this also results in amazing quick cash and can generate money very quickly. And then in turn, you can take that money and convert that into, long-term wealth, or you can continue to roll that money always. I see a lot of people in this business, particularly, that spend a lot of money on marketing. They also spend, and their return on the deals aren't incredibly high. They do a high volume of deals. So they do a volume over quality, which, that just depends on you and how you want to approach business. But for me, this is the way that this works. So how do you find properties? This is like the meat and potatoes of it all. How do you find properties? Look at all these different views I got. I got like all these cool views that I'm messing around with. Look at that. I got big me, I got small me, big me. All right. So how do you find these properties? Typical title farm list is one of them. You can farm a specific list, and we'll dive into this here shortly. Expired FSBO list. Now, some of you know some of this stuff. Some of you don't. Realist searches. Realist is great. Realist can be found on your MLS if you have MLS access. Great tool. Gotta lower this camera a little bit so you guys can get some more of me. All right. All right. Google search engine, FSBO sites, Craigslist, Bandit Signs, Zillow, BK list. BK stands for bankruptcy, divorce, attorneys, estate attorneys, criminal attorneys, firemen. I did that plural, firemen, estate planners, probate, retirement homes, estate sales, code violations, your sphere of influence, Facebook ads, D for D. No, not dick and dudes or whatever. It's driving for dollars, not dick. Tax liens, REI meetups, and property managers. Let me go on to the next slide. All right. And yo, if you guys are enjoying this content, don't forget to share it on your social platforms. All right. So, how do you find properties? A pre-targeted list. Where do you want to work? Wow, this font isn't cool. It makes it all squished together. So, where do you want to work? I tell individuals that the best thing to do is to really find an area that you want to work. So instead of spending a bunch of money on marketing, instead of spending a bunch of money on getting data lists, instead of spending a bunch of money on all these things, where do you want to work? Pick 1 to 2 zip codes, or do a painted farm. What a painted farm is I'll dive into that a little bit later. Um, a painted farm is basically just a map in your specific area. It could be a mix of zip codes, or it could be what the next one is. What type of properties do you want to pursue? Whether that's SFR, if you're not familiar with that term, SFR is single family residence. Is it a vacant lot? Is it a vacant house? Is it land? Is it multifamily? Is it mid-century modern? Is it a craftsman? What style of house are you looking to target? I'm going to share this really quick because I want to share it. Let me share this. Boom. Cool. All right. And select the size you want. Is it a property that you can add density to? Is it a property that you can add a room to? Is it something that you can have an add-on to? Is there an ADU, an ADU, which is an additional dwelling unit? Those personally, in my opinion, are detached garages with electrical and plumbing. I think they're phenomenal additional adds. Especially if you're working with somebody like myself that's looking to do value adds and doesn't necessarily care about like ARV as long as the price works. Are you working in selected zoning? What do you want to focus on? Are you focused on high density? Are you focusing on like apartments? What things are you focusing on? Let me share. How do I share this? Boom. Sharing it. Mad City. Let me go on here too. Are you looking for owner occupied? Are you looking for non-owner occupied? Like what specific things are you looking for? Are you looking for a level of debt? Anything of that capacity? Because these are all lists that your title company can pull. And I'll put this on the big screen so you guys can take a screenshot of this. Let me share this. Boom. Cool. All right. Now, level of debt is important because that determines the economic class, so on and so forth. So you guys get the picture, right? So now, how do you find these properties? You can use MLS. You can use farming code or painted farms. I know that sounds like dairy products, but that's not what it is. MLS, multi-listing service, farming codes, or a painted farm. You can just kind of gather information based with your title companies and things of that capacity. Use your title rep. use your title rep to help you create a list. There are better lists out there than others. Some lists are better than others. Now, something that I like to use is a stacking tool. I actually stack my data. So I stack it with multiple lists, and I kind of overlap them to see who's on these multiple lists. Now, when you reach out to your title rep, if they can't help you, find another one to work with. Like, that means they don't want to work with you because they don't know you. You guys haven't built rapport, and they have information that's somewhat proprietary. So you got to work for that relationship. And, you know, if it's not somebody that you want to work with, suck it and just move on. They can access almost every public record. I'm talking about when the deed of trust was established, if there's any existing foreclosure on the property, if there's any specific, like if you want to calculate any time of specific debt, like when a specific deed of trust was established, you can literally ask your title rep, and they can do all of that for you. And again, if they don't want to do that for you, move on to the next person that'll help you out. Because if they don't want to work with you in the beginning, how are they gonna, you know, they're not willing to do shit with you. So until they know you. And then the more creative you are with your lists, I love my misspellings here, the likely fewer people are working on it. So what that means is, the more that you look at your lists and say, okay, I'm going to give you guys an example. I want a person who purchased a property on so-and-so date and has X amount of dollars of debt associated with their property, and they have a specific mortgage company at said and said person. So we went over this earlier today, and we were talking about specific specific mortgage companies that sold a lot of their mortgages in the secondary mortgage market, and a lot of those notes are no longer they're no longer with the actual mortgager. So either a short sale can occur, or there's other creative ways to assume ownership of that property, but that's one of the ways. So that's just an example. And the more you target your list, the more you can target your message. Now, what do I mean by that? The more you target your list, the more you can target your message. Now, imagine if you pulled a list of individuals that purchased in 2006, and you know that they're upside down. Now, you simply say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so, I know that you purchased your property on so-and-so said date, and it appears that you might be upside down on your note. That has more authority and information behind the actual call versus some Filipino or some like Latin cold caller virtual assistant bullshit that they're going to call. They don't even know how to speak English. They don't know how to build rapport, and they don't know the actual facts. Those are the same fucking calls that these people are getting every single day. So if you have actual information and say, yo, like this is what happened on so-and-so said date, blah, 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 blah. Like, how much more that's almost like, some of you might be Hispanic on this live. Some of you might be Hispanic, and you know, when you talk to another person and they feel that you don't speak Spanish, they don't give you the fucking time of day. Like, they don't. But then as soon as you say, ¿Cómo te amo? Or si hablo español? I didn't even know if that makes sense. But you know what I'm saying? And then then the light switches, and then they're more open to connect with you. So you have to find that opportunity to connect. This is all about connection and relationship here. This is straight, all of that. If you don't have any of that, nobody's going to sell you shit. Like, nobody's going to sell you shit. I got to take off my sweater. All right. Let me see. I can't see the comments on here. All right. Because there is none right now. All right. So there's that. Screenshot it. Screenshot it while I get some water. All right. Realist, excuse me. Realist is an amazing tool for research and list building. Those of you that have MLS, Realist is an absolutely great tool. If you don't have MLS, you can obtain MLS access somehow, some way if you choose to. But there's a lot of information because they pull a lot of all that information from CoreLogic, and they scrape a lot of these county data sources for building lists. And you can do this on your own. This is basically what a title company does if you become more familiar with how to do it. Super easy. You can see tax sales, you can see distressed sales, you can see cancels, you can see expireds, etc. This is an absolute amazing tool because you can cross-reference properties that have been canceled, like listings that have been canceled, listings that have been expired, distressed sales, things like that. You can see all of those things. You can create other searches and other parameters to get you what you want. So you can add on these things. There are a ton of list builders out there. One of the list builders that I absolutely love is PropStream. PropStream is an amazing resource. It's nationwide. You guys can see it if you click in the link down below. There's an affiliate link. It'll give you a free trial. They were gracious enough to create an affiliation with me. But after they see this video, they'll be like, dude, this guy cusses too much, or it's not good for the brand. Well, fuck them. You know, if you want to use them, it's a great tool. I love them. Nationwide, they give you comps, really up to date. Another one that I like to use that they wouldn't give me an affiliate link, they wouldn't even return my emails, is Property Radar. Property Radar is great tool. But anyways, and they're going nationwide also. So again, how do I find properties, code violations, probates, social referrals, painted farms, and one of my bread and butter pickles, notice of trustee sales. The notice of trustee sales are freaking awesome. I remember when I first started, I didn't have all these gadgets. I wasn't Wizard of Waverly Place on the internet like this. I literally got a list of data, and I would put it on a legal form pad, and I would go door knock these houses. I would drive, I would door knock, and I would see if these homeowners would be interested to sell. I didn't have text message. I did use Google Voice. Google Voice is another great tool. If you guys are down with it, it's absolutely free. You can text, you can make calls and things like that. You can use all that stuff. But I literally used to drive to these houses, knock on the door and say, hey, I see that your property, might be in foreclosure. I'm not sure if you have already remedied this situation. Yet I work and I purchase or acquire properties and in turn help homeowners out by closing fast, avoiding the foreclosure date, closing on their terms, giving them money in advance, helping them move, so on and so forth. Whatever your company does, that's what it is. Now, these properties, like with really, really like juicy spreads, because you're gonna find properties regardless. Like you're gonna find deals. Deals are everywhere. You're gonna find them just as long as you're looking for them. Because if you're not looking for them, you're not going to be able to find them. So that right there is a mindset shift and opening up your and switching some paradigms, so you can actually see like, yo, that there are opportunities out there. Just like this example here, I put a red Honda here. Like, what happens when you decide to buy a new car, maybe a red Honda, and you buy that red Honda, and all of a sudden you thought you were the only Joe Schmo with a red Honda. And then you realize that every other mofo in your neighborhood is driving a red Honda. But that's the power of visualizing and creating what you wish to attract. So you visualize these properties coming to fruition. You visualize, hey, I easily and effortlessly find a homeowner that's willing to sell me their property at a discounted price so I can purchase it and acquire my first transaction and then partner with Tyson. Super simple. Most people aren't actively looking for these deals. Most people don't even pay attention, so they don't even know when they show up. A lot of, and I would say as you continue to evolve in this process of looking for deals and understanding real estate, I would incredibly advise you to continue to sharpen your blade. If you have if you're an old samurai and you're like an OG samurai in Japan, and you battled these great battles and you beat a bunch of people, and now you're 50, 60 years old and you haven't sharpened your blade or you haven't stayed in shape, and then this new young samurai challenges you, you're going to lose. You're going to fucking lose. So continue to sharpen your blade. Most people don't know what to do with deals because they wouldn't know a good deal if you hit them in the face. There's great opportunities to do a bunch of creative transactions. Man, I probably said the F word quite much on this live, and I will probably, Facebook will probably be mad at me, and YouTube will probably be mad at me. Anyways, most people don't know what to do with them. So a lot of short sales, for example, there's a great opportunity to find these homeowners that are in these positions where if they decide to short sell the property, they might not make any money because they short sold the property. They might get $3,000 to $5,000 of relocation assistance because I can get them $3,000 to $5,000 on relocation assistance. But if that's like, yo, that's not enough, but their interest rate on their property is low, you can do something called a subject to, which I'm not going to get into here because it's way too much information. The intention of this is to give you information on how to find good deals. The ninja, the JEDI, the pirate method. Yo, this is some super savage stuff right here. I'm talking, talk to your mailman. Get to know your mailman. Say, what's up, mailman? I know you drive around all day, bro. I know you see these houses. They look distressed. They're in disrepair. Slide them in my DM. Yard service guys, your lawn guy, your pool guy. These are all homies that can work. We can all work together. I feel that there is enough to go around where everybody can share. And I feel confident and comfortable if you guys do come across something or whatever the scenario is, we can bounce things off one another. Pizza guys, dog walkers, Uber, Lyft drivers. Bandit signs are all right. I think bandit signs are great to attract potential buyers, not so much sellers. I would do it to attract buyers. I would just even say, I would probably even totally switch up the bandit sign method and just say, hey, looking for buyers for whatever. Anyways, newspaper guys, solar sales, awesome. Anybody that does door to door shit is a great. It's great. Like, it's a great thing, and then you guys can commingle experiences, and maybe that solar guy, you can hook that solar guy up. Business really is simply all about relationship, cultivating deep, powerful relationships. Reverse engineering. Reverse engineer for list building. So as you're looking at properties on Zillow that have recently sold, or if you're looking at properties that on the MLS or PropStream that recently sold, reverse engineer and figure out what these people are looking for and what kind of pain points these properties were acquired. So imagine this property is completely redone and just reverse engineer it. Yo, was this a probate? Was this a divorce? Was this a code violation? Was this a foreclosure? And then understand how to utilize these systems like PropStream. Understand how to utilize these systems like the MLS to really figure out how to find deals. Look what was sold, new construction. And then that'll help you understand the metrics of your market. You'll see the patterns in the farming lists and also give you access to third-party documents. This is really how I learned a lot of my stuff. Is I did a lot of research on properties that were, let's say, foreclosures or divorces or bankruptcies or lis penance. And this is where I understood the linguistics or lingo of these documents. This is something that I did, and I did this for a while until I really understood the formatting of it all. There's no perfect order. There's no perfect script. There's no perfect marketing. There's no perfect anything. Not everyone follows this process in order, but everyone does these things. Now, like I stated earlier, the being of you wanting to find the deal is absolutely critical. Like, this is incredibly important. The affirmation, the intention of you finding a deal where energy flows, that's what essentially cultivates. This is more than just real estate in this capacity. Yet when you focus on something, when you say, hey, I'm determined to find a deal, I'm determined to find a probate, or I'm determined to find a divorce type property, it will come, like it always does. Be consistent, be present, and be in the continuous mode of contribution. Just like everybody that's engaged on here, it's so much, because this is a continuous contribution, not only to me, but to yourself. And honestly, we like to drive these properties first. We like to drive them first. It takes time, and then that leads to a lead conversation, which means better relationships. And then that kind of sets you apart. So again, like on a property specifically, if we know that it's a hard to reach seller, for example, we'll drive the property first and verify that it's vacant, and then knock where the seller lives or might live, and then also knock the neighbors. And I know with all this stuff going on with COVID, it gets kind of hard to knock doors. But I think it's still possible. I think it's still possible. I think we've done it, and actually, I know it's still possible because we've done it and we've been successful at it during this pandemic. Is we just wear a mask, like just wear a mask, and then if the homeowner's cool with chopping it up with you and they don't need a mask, like that's cool, like that's on you guys. So that leads to better relationships, sets you apart, and then that's better quality. Call a second time, leave a descriptive voicemail again, text message, and then mail. These are all powerful tools. Here's an example of how a farm looks. You can take these if you want, but multifamily, free and clear. Boom. These are a few properties, a few homeowners, and this is how we sort the list. Social media. Social media is absolutely a great tool to utilize and to generate leads. Now, the more that you guys lean into this and more that you cultivate this and begin to think of this as an actual sustainable business to create long-term wealth, going on social media and sharing what you do and who you are doesn't affect you. It doesn't. So it's important to go on these social media platforms and then share. Go on social media and go on these outlets and post messages and videos and forms or text messages like this. Hey, everyone, I just wanted to ask you a question, possible favor. I hope this actually helps somebody. I'm meeting with an investor and a potential partner right now, and they're looking for a fixer-upper property or an empty lot in your neighborhood. If you happen to come across something, would you mind sending me the address via DM? They will hopefully buy the house, fix it up, removing the eyesore, and possibly increase the value of your neighborhood, specifically your home. Now, this creates a relationship directly with the viewer or the individual that you're messaging this to, because everybody wants to see their home values go up, pride in ownership. And yeah, you know what? If there's a crappy house on the block, squatters been living in it, they got scooters in the front, it's possibly visible that they do meth in there or whatever they do. You know, there's foil on the windows and you got a nice house. You don't want people doing meth living across the street from you. Like, you don't. So also, if you're interested in buying an investment property, please let me know. I'm running into a lot of exclusive off-market properties, and I'd love to share them with you. So again, this is a great opportunity to cultivate relationship with that person that you're sending this video to. I got and receive and still receive a bunch of referrals just through sharing and just cultivating relationships. If you read any sales book, if you read any marketing or business book, 70% of your business comes from referrals. That other portion of that comes from your outside marketing game. And then eventually, your marketing is just like it's a funnel to deeper relationship. So the intentionality behind this type of messaging is to cultivate deeper relationships. Oh, I think we're on the last slide. Opportunities are everywhere. You have to take action with the right intention to capitalize on it. So take the action and create your first list and talk to your first vendor. This means go out and talk to a title company. Or if you've watched a bunch of these videos, and we're not on the last slide, by the way, if you watched these videos or you've met me at REI meetups and you have all this knowledge and you know all these things, but the action of the actual doingness of the process is the only thing that you're still with, do it. Because that's the only way that you'll be able to see what works and what doesn't work. I know the scariest thing that I did when I first started was freaking door knocking. I didn't know if I was going to get shot. I didn't know if I was going to I ran into homeless people all the time. Like, because like I said, I knocked these notice of trustee sales. So a lot of them would be vacant for years, because the time that I started in 2015, we were just coming off an economic collapse, and there was still a bunch of what I called zombie properties on the market that took 5 to 7 years to actually get to complete the foreclosure process. So squatters were living in these things for like years, like set up shop. Dirty Dave and the gang, just busting semen everywhere. So yeah, and that was one of the scariest things that I ever did was to knock on these doors. But getting over that fear and actually engaging in conversation, basically like punching fear in the face and like knocking on the door and saying, hey, yo, seller, I know you're in some type of foreclosure situation. This is what I do to assist homeowners in these type of situations. I purchased the property as is. Would you be open? Or I was just reaching out to see when you might consider selling this property, and then connecting in that space, and then you have these facts because you farmed correctly. You actually have this information. Maybe you have the NTS sheet, or maybe you have these things that you printed out and you look more professional. And if anybody here like wants to door knock, yo, I'm down. Like, I love to door knock. It'd be super amazing to say that I knew how to maneuver in this pandemic landscape, but that would be an incredible falsie. So I would love to engage with you. The way that we've been marketing now has been text messages and calls, which is absolutely great. But I would love to door knock with you guys, because I think it'd be cool. We just got to bring the Perel and the masks, to reduce the spread of the virus. Anyways, that is actually all the stuff that I had lined up for you guys. I hope really, really, really you guys found a bunch of value in this. I'm going to leave this up so you guys could take a screenshot of it. And if you guys are interested, there's a affiliate link again for PropStream. Those of you on here, though, most of you already are associated with my PropStream. So, honestly, just let me know if there's anything how I can do to support. You can follow me on Instagram. Because I made this public. So anybody that's new and they're not following me, they can follow me. Yeah. I'm going to do more of these. I'm going to dive deeper into tomorrow, actually releasing a pretty dope video on wholesaling and what that is and so forth. A lot of you in the group already know what that is, and we'll continue to dive deeper in all of this. Guys, I honestly hope, if you enjoyed this and you love this type of stuff and you found value in it, just pop that like button, or you know what, better yet, pop that thumbs up in the comment section and let me know if this is something that resonates with you guys, because I love doing these. I love connecting with you guys. So guys, anyways, hope you enjoyed this. That is, in a nutshell, how to find properties. Rewatch it if you didn't catch all the things. If you didn't catch all the slides, or you want to take that data, you can take it. Anyways, guys, I hope you have an amazing, phenomenal day. Be kind.